Respectable then, everybody.
Yeah.
Speaking on rolling and speeding.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
And 5.
Clint, several people have expressed surprise that you chose this as a property to film, but actually this sort of fits into your body of work, the whole idea of the creation of an extended community, a place where everyone's eccentricities are accepted, if not, allowed to flourish.
I think so. I don't, it seems like there's an awful lot of fiercely independent people there, and there are a lot of quirky people. I've done stories about all those things along the way, and redemption even. They got the whole deal is in there. I don't think it's exactly like anything I've done, but that's why I chose to do it. Really, I didn't. I don't want to just do stories that are repetition of what I've done in the past. At this particular time in life, that isn't appealing to me. I like to try new projects. I like this one. I like the screenplay of it, and I like the book. I like the nice ensemble cast and the opportunity for a nice ensemble cast.
Were you surprised that John Lee Hancock was able to take a script from this very well written but very episodic, very quirkily written book?
I was surprised. Actually, it was kind of in a reverse situation though, because I read Hancock's script first, and I liked it. I liked the screenplay. I thought, this is different. This is kind of an unusual thing. And I went back and read the book, and then I appreciated it more because he did manage to sort through and have a continuation of story over something, like you say, that's long, that has a lot of characters, and you have to, they all interweave. Some of them interweave. Some of them really don't have any. They interweave with Savannah, but they don't interweave with the plot line of the story. And then, so he gave a face to the narrator, and gave a face and a persona to, in the case of John Kelso, and so we have somebody to identify with as our eyes to lead us through this adventure.
Now, speaking of the John Kelso character, who is, of course, the surrogate for the author of the piece, I would think in some respects that must have been one of the trickier roles to cast, the idea that here's a character who is essentially reactive, but must be engaging enough, intelligent enough to hold our interest, so we want to follow him on this journey.
I think that is you hit exactly on the things that are necessary for that particular character. But I think John Cusack fills that bill, and also he has a nice flair with, besides the drama, he has a nice flair with comedy, and his reactions are very, very important to selling any of the comedic aspects of, and his relationship with Lady Chablis. They easily could be the Cary Grant, Rosalind Russell kind of thing of the 90s. I don't know.
Would that make you the Howard Hawks?
Oh, well, I don't know, yeah. His girl, Thursday. Yeah.
How about your response to Savannah? Were you seduced by the place?
Well, I liked it very much. I went there a year prior to filming there, because as I was entertaining the project. So I took a look at it, and I liked it very much. I didn't get to know too many people at that time, mostly places, but I did meet some people who knew about the Jim Williams episode and who knew him, and so I did get into that story a little bit. Then I met the attorney, Sonny Seiler, who was very, very helpful to in making everyone understand what the attitude was and atmosphere was around Savannah in the 80s and around the time of that trial. How he defended Jim Williams. And I met the family, his sister, Dorothy, and his nieces, and they were all very nice people. And along the way, eventually when I got back there and was filming there, I met all the other characters, some of them who were, the ones that are with us anyway, some of them are deceased now.
What was there about Kevin Spacey that made the light bulb go off over your head and say, yes, he's Jim?
Well, Kevin seems to have a good way of getting into his characters very solidly. He did a lot of research into the Jim Williams character. He has a certain resemblance. I mean, he can actually affect a very close resemblance to Jim Williams, though that it wasn't the most important thing, but it was certainly one aspect of it. And he studies his characters very well, and he has just all the right. He just handled it very well, I think. He just researched it well, and it's a tough role to play because it's a person who's very charismatic and flamboyant, yet he's also got a mystery about him, and that mystery is important because the mystery not only with the episode, because we know who did the shooting in the one incident in the film, but the big question is what the interpretation is and what his interpretation is and what our interpretation eventually becomes. So, but even before that, he has to have a sort of a mystery about him. Who is this guy, and what makes this guy tick?
Well, great casting, very fine movie. Congratulations.
Thank you, Joe.
You know, I have to say,
Yeah.
in